All right, guys, this week we have a ton of updates, including an update on where we're at in development of WhatsApp and being able to support WhatsApp interactions if that's something you're looking for, as well as updates on the Conversational AI booking bot. That's right, you heard that right. Built into HighLevel, there will be a booking bot that you can use to book appointments on your calendar. So stay tuned, your GHL Weekly Breakdown is coming right up. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Michael McAllister. I've got your GHL Weekly Breakdown this week, and I'm not going to be doing any screen shares just because we have a ton of updates. It seems like they maybe hit the snooze button for a couple of weeks while they were on that developer offsite, but then when they came back crazy. And so we've got a ton of updates to go over. There will be no screen share. If you have any questions on any of these features specifically, drop them in the comments below. Let us know. We can dive deeper on our weekly Zoom room. Okay, first update that we have is only going to be pertinent to you if you are using the LC email system. So as a reminder, if you have your own agency, you probably have elected to do this because it makes managing things simpler. So if you're not using Mailgun or you're not using SendGrid or you're not using a different SMTP provider, you are likely using LC email. LC stands for Lead Connector. It just means this is HighLevel's version of their email service, their SMTP service. And so this is only pertinent to those. If you're using LC email, then you now have the ability to validate emails before you send them anything. So this is going to increase your deliverability over time because you're going to get less bounces, which is going to make it so that your emails end up getting through to your recipients at a higher rate. So if you are using LC email, this is something that will benefit you. You can now go into your sub account at the sub account level. It's under settings and you go to business profile, and then you'll see checkboxes that make it possible for you to turn this feature on and off. If you are a client of ours, we are using Mailgun. We do not use LC email. So if you have an Empower LO account, you will not see that option. However, we are doing email validation for you. We're just doing it at the account level and not inside of the sub accounts. All right, next up, we have an update from Go HighLevel as far as their support for a WhatsApp integration. Personally, I don't necessarily see a need for this in the mortgage industry. I don't talk to many loan officers that are looking for WhatsApp support. But if it is something that you're looking for, know that it is on the way. They have their integration approved by Meta, and so now they're basically going through building it out. They'll have a QA process, etc. It might be months before we actually see this inside of an account, but know that it is on the way. They have been approved by Meta and they are working towards this. All right, next up, we have another update on a feature that is in development, and that is the Conversational AI bot. So HighLevel is working on this as an answer to a couple of spin-off services that were providing a AI booking bot service where you could basically use a chat bot as a means to interact with your leads via text message and then ideally drive them to an action, a desired action, which in this case, we're talking about booking an appointment. The way that HighLevel is setting up this AI bot, I'm not even gonna say booking bot because booking is just one component of what they're trying to do. The way that HighLevel is setting up their Conversational AI bot is they're setting it up in such a way that you can provide it what objective you are trying to reach, as well as what gates you want to implement in between the beginning of the process and the objective. So what do I mean by gates? This is like qualifying questions basically, right? So if I'm a loan officer and I'm wanting to set up this booking bot to book appointments on my calendar, then I'm going to have qualifying questions about the mortgage process or about their intent maybe before I get them to book the appointment. So I would tell the booking bot, hey, the goal here is to book an appointment. These are the questions that I want you to ask in between the first engagement and booking that appointment. And here are the ways that somebody would answer a question that would disqualify them from me wanting to book an appointment with them. This is going to be a really cool feature. It's going to take a lot of configuration, a lot of work. I'm hoping there are going to be other people in the industry that are working hard on this in the mortgage industry because collectively we're going to be able to do so much more than if us in-house, we're counting on only our abilities to develop and customize all these features for loan officers. All right, next up is a minor enhancement / bug fix that you probably don't notice or you probably don't have any experience with, but maybe you do. Facebook integrations have been kind of a sticking point for HighLevel for a while. Just something to do with Facebook's API makes it kind of a clunky process. They have to refresh authorization more often than any other app, and when they refresh refresh that authorization. If they've had issues in the past where if it was one person from the business that authorized it, that would have to be the same person that refreshed, even if you have 10 people in the same business in the same Facebook account or in the same HighLevel account. So again, there's like these little nuances that I've talked about briefly over the last couple months that HighLevel's just been slowly chipping away at. So this is essentially just addressing those improvements and those fixes. We've got another one, again, one that doesn't really pertain to LO, so I'm not even going to share it. Just know Facebook integrations, if you have issues with that, if you have issues with your authentication expiring for Facebook integrations, help is on the way. All right, guys, last but definitely not least, I've actually saved the best for last. That is a new mobile app update. Now, first off, I want to start by saying if you have gotten the update and you're not a huge fan of it and you just heard this build up and you're saying, shit, dude, this wasn't even cool, I get it. Look, there are things about the app that I'm not a huge fan of. The interface is definitely different. The notifications are getting some getting used to. There we go. They're definitely, the UI is definitely a little bit different, but I think it's going to be better. At the end of the day, what my biggest complaint about it is the new way that they have notifications set up. Before, they had almost a dashboard that took up half the screen, and then your notifications took up the bottom half of the screen. And so they really compressed the amount of information that they put in those notifications. Now, they've replaced the dashboard part of it because it was useless, and I think everybody agrees with that. But now instead, they take up the full screen with your feed of notifications, and they're providing more detail in those notifications, which is good once you get used to the really like hard on the eyes visual that exists right there. So I switched my app to dark mode. You might want to do the same thing. Again, in light mode, which is how I had my app all the way up until this update. I never had a problem, but for whatever reason, just the way they have that organized, really tough on the eyes. We'll be giving passing that feedback on to HighLevel. Hopefully it does something, but either way, it is overall a net positive. The app is moving smoother. The app is moving faster. There's more information accessible to you in your notifications. It is a positive thing, even if it's going to take some getting used to. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you this week. I know that there was a lot to cover. I know there was probably some stuff that was worth a screen share. So again, if you have any questions about this stuff, if anything that you heard today seems like something that you would be interested in, all you got to do is show up to that weekly Zoom room, right? Every Tuesday, 11 o'clock Mountain Time. Last week we had we only had one person pop on. It was July 25th. I don't know, summer vacation, I'm not sure why, but the more people we have on there, the more valuable it is for everybody. If you saw anything or heard anything today that you think you're gonna have more interest in exploring, make sure you show up on Tuesday at 11 o'clock. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you at the top.